Hello, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. Today I'm having some fun in Standard, doing something a little bit silly. I'm going to be playing random encounters in Standard, best of one, trying to make this card work. Before I talk a little bit about the deck, help the channel grow a little bit, sub up if you haven't done so already, and more importantly, leave a comment down below. Let me know if you've played random encounters and what kind of experience you've had with this deck. Now, what's the deal with this deck? It is a lottery deck, essentially. Random encounter is a 6 CMC sorcery. It says shuffle your library, then mill 4 cards. Put each creature card milled this way onto the battlefield. They gain haste, then return those creatures to the owner's hand at the beginning of the end step. It also has flashback for 6. Now, in this deck, we have a whole bunch of big threats like Terror of the Peaks, Stormbrood here, Overlord of the Boiler Villages, Trumpeting Carnosaur, Vaultborn Tyrant, Ghalta. You can see what's going on with the deck. We are also going to be using Llanowar Elves, Badger Molekup, and then these 3 cards to help us ramp into these big creatures or ramp into the random encounters. Now, I don't know who the creator of this deck was, but I did come across this online somewhere. If you are that creator, thank you for giving me a bunch of misery, because this deck is a meme deck. I don't expect very much from this deck, and in fact, I am going to say right off the bat that I'm probably going to be mixing around the gameplay and seeing what games actually end up being good. With a deck like this, I fully expect a lot of whiffs. I fully expect the deck just not to function properly, and that's what I'm going into. Those expectations is what I'm going into this video with. So unlike my regular videos where I don't have any curated gameplay, this one is just a fun one. We're going to see what kind of silliness we can do with the random encounter deck and hopefully throw out a bunch of big creatures onto the field unexpectedly for the opponent. So yeah, let's jump into some gameplay and see how it ends up playing out. See you over there. All right, game number one more time. Actually, I'm going to cut that last game number 1 because my opponent literally, I played turn 1 Llanowar Elf into Badger Molekup and my opponent immediately scooped up. Like, it was the fastest scoop I think I've seen in quite a long time. I need a little bit of luck and hope from all of the people watching this video today. Wow, that's a really nice Thornspire. That's a very red looking card, isn't it? I need some luck from all of you because when I play a deck like this, there's no guarantee that we're gonna see the cool Kavaro, or not Kavaro, random encounter thing. So it's all coming down to luck. All right, we're gonna go out with the Summon Fenrir. Summon Fenrir gets our other mountain. We need 2 red sources for a lot of these cards, so that is important. Maybe our opponent is doing a similar thing over there. That could be kind of cool. Sure. So from here, we do have 5 mana. I could just start throwing Terror of the Peaks onto the field, gaining, or blasting things with the Terror of the Peaks. I think that's maybe an okay thing to do, right? Now, do I want to charge in with the Summon Fenrir, or do I want to save this to draw a card next turn? I think I want to maybe try to draw a card with the Summon Fenrir. It's 3rd chapter. Draw a card if you control the creature with the highest power or tied, and I think our Terror of the Peaks is going to probably get there. Let's see what the opponent's up to. This is very, very interesting. While they're figuring out what they're doing, if you skip the introduction, as I usually do, help the channel grow. I ask you to sub up if you can. Helps me out tremendously. We want to keep growing and hitting 2,000. You know, we're reaching there. We're close to 1,700. So I appreciate all the people that have joined up recently. What is going on? Terror of the Peaks matchup. So I gotta have to read this. Spells your opponent's cast that target this creature cost 3 additional life, whatever. I didn't know that said that. Whenever another creature you control enters, this creature deals damage equal to that creature's power to any target. Well, I suppose we just have to do the thing that's... Well, okay, I could put out the Overlord of the Hauntwoods, right? I was going to say, yeah, you know what? Let's do the Terror of the Peaks thing. Let's get 2 Terror of the Peaks on the field. So 5 damage to their Terror. That's got to be a concede from them, right? No? Staying in. All right. Maybe we're going to get there, without the random encounter. And that's what I was kind of saying off the top, is that this type of deck, you kind of plan it to do the cool thing. And sometimes you just get Badger Molekup wins. Sometimes you're going to get, big stompy thing wins. And we never get to see the random encounter. So I'm really, really hoping, really praying that some of these games end up going well. I like representing the decks, like, straight through. Play 7 games. Don't do any shenanigans. I don't like to curate my games whatsoever. You guys know that if you watch this channel The games are as honest as they can be. But once in a while, I need to shuffle up the order a little bit to make sure a random encounter matches up first. And that might be the situation in this set of games. This opponent seems to be on a very similar type of deck. Okay, Spinewoods Armadillo. Cool card. Well, we're gonna just do this. We're gonna hit the opponent for 12 with the 2 Terror of the Peaks, right? What more is there to do? Yeah. All right. Well, hey, guess what? Terror of the Peaks, pretty powerful card when you ramp it out. Let's see if we can find the random encounter, though. Puck is up next. We are dropping ranks. So this random encounter deck, fun, but it has some problems. Okay, we got our ramp. We have our boiler bilges. It's boring, but I guess we'll kind of go with this and see how it works out. I just want to play random encounters. That's all I want to do. Okay, Thorn Spire Verge. We get to turn that on next turn with our mountain, and then we can run out our Bedroom Wool Cubs and go from there. Stormchaser's Talent. So it's very likely that we're up against Is It Lessons here. Hey, there it is. And if we are up against Is It Lessons, that means they are going to have ways of removing our Bedroom Wool Cub. But if they don't, if they drew the wrong side of their deck, and they don't have the Firebender's Lesson, I think is what it's called, whatever that card is called, 2 damage to something, we could run out the second Bedroom Wool Cub and make something happen. But them shocking in that multiversal passage makes me think that our poor little boy here is toast. Combustion Technique, of course. Always have it. Which we also have it. Do I want to... I think it's fine to run this out and then Stormbrood hit the Otter. Why not? Yeah, sure. Omen, go back into our deck. It wasn't going to do anything in our hand, and I think it mitigates a little bit of damage. So we are up to 6 potential mana, or 5 potential mana right now. 6 with the land draw. We can maybe do the random encounter, but we might run into Idoquentia. Hopefully they take a turn, put out a monument, and we draw a land. And if that's the case, then we could be in really good shape. Otherwise, our backup plan is Overlord of the Boiler Bilges. Okay, they are kind of shields down. They used... Okay. So land here, huge. Come on, land. Come on. Not like that. not that land. Okay, fine. We'll do this the hard way. Summon Fenrir onto the field. And from here, do I need a red source? I don't. I'll just grab a force. It's fine. And we're going to get in for 3. But I think because we missed our land there, now we have the opponent has the opportunity to deal with some of the things that we have on our board. We're probably in trouble. We need this Badger Mole Cub to survive. That being said, next turn, even if the Badger Mole Cub dies, we could Overlord of the Boiler Bilges. It's not the worst thing. Okay. So Iroh's Demonstration wiping us out, actually. Both of these come in. And now we're set back quite a bit. Wow, man, why couldn't we hit the Fenrir? Why did you have to be on the top of my deck? There are so many more lands in the deck. Only 4 of you. Although I do like you. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be saying bad things about Summon Fenrir. It's such a cool card. Okay, Grand onto the field. So we're gonna do the boring thing. So the boring thing is Smoking Grand. The fun thing is Overlord of the Boiler Bilges. But this only gets me 1 more land closer to this random encounter. I don't think I can do it. I think I just have to blast old Granny. And hopefully keep them off of drawing tons of cards. This attack in was good. Next turn, maybe I can draw a card off of the Summon Fenrir if the Badger Mole Cub stays on the field and they only have some Otters on the field. Combustion Technique on the Badger Mole Cub means that... I don't think Summon Fenrir sees himself, does he? Draw a card if you control the creature with the greatest power. Let's find out. Okay, so they'll have a 1/1 on the field. Do I draw a card? I do. Okay, so Summon Fenrir does see itself. That's kind of cool. And you know what? We did find our ramp, finally. The ramp came at the wrong time, but we do have the ability to put out a Llanowar Elf and enough forests for the random encounter. So we are up to 6 mana. And assuming they don't have It'll Quench Ya, okay, that's good. I don't care about that. Monument is so fine. Even if they kill the Llanowar Elf, I don't care. They're also at 10 life, so very vulnerable. We also have this Boiler Bilges that's cooking, sitting down here. It's a 6/6 as well, because it did get the +1/+1 counter from Summon Fenrir. And they only have a red source open, so the red source is not going to counter our random encounter, and I think we're going to get to do it. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Let's see it be good. It's okay. It's okay. It is exact lethal. We get there just barely, unless they have a way of dealing with our Llanowar Elf, which is super possible. 10 damage? 10 damage? I really hope it's 10 damage, because I'll be honest, I have to go to the bathroom. No! No! Opponent, I don't want to stick around for another turn. Okay, that's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I drank way too much coffee when I woke up this morning. Whatever. I wonder if the microphone can hit. I've been clasping my hands, and when I lift them apart, they kind of make a sound. And I wonder if the microphone's been hearing that. Where I am, extraordinarily dry, and you got to moisturize every single day, several times, to not turn into a mummy. All right, we have our Boiler Bilges cooking. They only have 1 red source. That's crazy that they drew 4 islands and 1 red source. Are they going to be doing the Stormchaser's Talent situation here? Kind of looks that way. Okay. Sure. I don't care. They get back the Boomerang Basics. They're probably going to use that to... Are they going to bounce our Overlord? That's the craziest thing that you could do, opponent. Opponent... Please, you're killing me. You're killing me. They're bouncing the Stormchaser's Talent. Oh my god. Okay, good. Attack in for 2. Who cares? You don't have a land to play. You're dead. You're dead. Okay, we're just doing the easy way because I'm going to die here. And we take down Puck. Hey, we got a random encounter out of it. Not bad, not bad. Next one. Okay. Come on. The deck's not working out. The pieces are not coming as I want them to come. Hey, we do have our annoying thing here. Let's see if our opponent actually stays in the game this time around. We can use the Smuggler's Surprise to maybe mill a what's it called, random encounter into the graveyard, but of course our opponent has Ghost Vacuum. I'm sorry, what? The Ghost Vacuum is actually kind of devastating here, because the Ghost Vacuum allows them to take our random encounter out of our graveyard, so our flashback is not going to work. Also, it could really ruin our Smuggler's Surprise. What are the chances, opponent? Oh my goodness. Okay, so we have 4 mana. We're going to ramp quite a bit here. We have our double red sources, so we might not be in trouble. The problem is, though, that we're probably not doing our fun thing, which that's what I want to do, is a fun thing. So we get to put one of the forests into play, we get to put another forest onto the field, and from here, there's no point in using the Smuggler's Surprise. So instead we just get in for 3 damage and see what our opponent has for us. I don't expect to Star Cage in this situation with the Voice of Victory, but the Get Lost, okay, could have seen that coming. But we do have 6 mana still. Ghalta's 8. So 6 mana. 6 mana. You know what that means, right? Random encounter. Okay. It's not bad. It's pretty good. We get to draw some cards. We get to gain some life. They're going to eat our random encounter with their Ghost Vacuum, unfortunately. But hey, this is what we kind of want to see. And is there any reason to... Well, we're going to attack with these 2, of course. Boom, boom. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to run out... You know what? I should have... Well, I guess it doesn't matter. We're going to run out the Llanowar Elf. But let's just tap this to put... You know, maybe we find a land. Just use your Ghost Vacuum. You know you're going to use your Ghost Vacuum to eat my random encounter. Just do it. Okay? We find a Ghalta. We don't want the Ghalta, so I'll put it into the graveyard. I'd rather draw a land, and I'm going to put this onto the field. So next turn we have 8 mana. That means we can slam. Do we have 8 mana? Yes, we do have 8 mana. We can slam the Ghalta, and we can put all of these creatures onto the field and just have fun. So the random encounter kind of worked. The opponent is down to 6 life, so we did hit them quite hard with the Vaultborn Tyrant and the Storm Brood. They need something pretty big here. A board wipe would be good. No. Well, they don't have counter magic, so I think we're just going to go for it. Put any number of creatures onto the field. All of them? Do we go greedy? Yeah. Whatever. We're going to draw so many cards here. And the all right, that kind of fun. Kind of fun. That's why you play Ghalta, I guess. Tata is up next. We're going to take out a Liliana. Let's see some more random encounters. We have Double Mountain. We have our Llanowar Elf. So we have our ramp package, and I think it's pretty set. Unfortunately, going second, but we can at least summon Fenrir potentially. Well, they might have removal for our poor Llanowar Elf. But hey, look at that. Badger Mole Cub showing up. But I always find it awkward, these decks that are playing Llanowar Elf, Badger Mole Cub, and 3 CMC ramp, because when you get to 3 CMC, what do you decide to do here? Do you just run out the summon Fenrir? I think it's better than the Badger Mole Cub. Badger Mole Cub later on, we weren't going to be able to do anything else with that extra 2 mana, so I think it's better just to get this onto the field. And from here, do we want to grab a... It doesn't matter what we grab, we'll just grab a forest, because we have our second mountain here. And the opponent had a Restless Reef on turn 2, so they're a little bit slow with their mana. They're not doing anything. Does that mean that they're sitting here on some kind of counter magic? Kind of feels that way, right? We didn't draw overly well, so let's just attack in with the Summon Fenrir and see if they react to this. Then I think it's probably fine to... Yeah, let's run out the Badger Mole Cub. We're just going to risk bad things happening to it. We do have 3 mana. We can pay for some kinds of counter spells. Not that kind of counter spell, though. Okie doke. It is what it is. Maybe we should have got in with the Llanowar Elf while we also had the chance, but I don't think 1 mana is going to make much of a difference. Next turn, we are up to 6 mana, so we can Trumpeting Carnosaur into the Discover. Oh, this might just be like a... mill strategy, right? Ooh. It's a little bit of a shame that we're against. We have our fast random encounter, but they are holding up counter magic. We're against the wrong opponent for this kind of draw, but we're still gonna try. They have it. Spell Pierce. Ooh, Spell Pierce. Okay, that's fine. In 2 turns, we can still do it again. Next turn, I think we try to run out the Vaultborn Tyrant and just hope that they don't, they put that on top. So probably a good card, although they could be fishing for lands, but probably we're going to get milled here at some point. That seems to be what the opponent's up to. Okay, I don't think it matters. I'm going to just take my damage, and I'm going to throw out Vaultborn Tyrant. Try to run them out of counter magic. If they have another one for it, it's fine. Refute. Who's playing Refute? Kind of cool card. I like the art on it, actually. What an angry... That's how I imagine the opponent is. Every blue mage that just plays counterspell.deck looks exactly like that when they throw out their counterspell. Okay, well, I'm going to do another random encounter. Do you have another... what would it be? What is it called? 3 steps ahead? Are you still 3 steps ahead of me? No, they're refuting. They're yelling at me. Oh my god, I hate this opponent. Let me have my fun. Oh, and they discarded the River Churn Monument. Man, these players that just... Okay, their shield's down. Land. Right? We have the random encounter. We have it. Let's be... It's not good enough. It's not good enough. It's not bad. But it's not going to be enough, is it? We're just a slightly short. Okay, well, the Boiler Bill just goes back to my hand. So, It is a lethal thing next turn. All right. Well, we kind of did it. Had we hit just ever so slightly better on our creature, we could have possibly gotten there. But what are you going to do against counterspell.deck? Sure. All right, Thomas is our 7th opponent. I think I might end up playing a few extra games with this deck because I'm not quite satisfied with the way the lack of random encounters have been going. We have a lot of green cards. Unfortunately, this only gets forests. We do need 2 green sources. We can get a source with this one, but I don't like this hand. I think I'm going to throw it back. Okay. This is not the worst. We do need probably 1 more land to assure that we can get this Summon Fenrir onto the field. Badger Mole Cub, not going to be good enough on its own, but if we end up finding a turn 1 Llanowar Elf, that's going to be really good. But I'll be happy with the land off the top. Ooh, we're against red, and they're on the play. But they did mulligan once. Okay. We find our land. The opponent, for some reason, didn't end their turn. They have their 1 mountain. What could it possibly be? They have something. They must have like a burst lightning, I might guess. All right, lots of hard decisions over on Thomas 987's side of the board. They are playing Burn after all, and Burn, very cerebral deck, something that players need to be very careful when they're playing. They need to take their time with all of their decisions. We get to play out our Badger Mole Cub, and it's probably going to get smoked by that Burst Lightning that I predicted that they had in their hand. It was a shock. I was wrong. But we do get to put out the Summon Fenrir at the very least next turn. The thing is, we might not be able to survive this assault from the opponent. Okay, Summon Fenrir. Do your work. This thing's also probably going to have to jump in front of something. We need a mountain from it 100% of the time. And we are getting closer to the random encounter, but we are still ways away from it. Far enough away. Still 15 life, down to 12, maybe even lower after they play 1 more spell here. Multiversal Passage tapped. Okay, so their hand not great. And that might be good enough to help us survive. Do I just want to hit the Emberheart Challenger? It's possible that they're sitting on a Shard Mage's Rescue. I think I'm actually okay putting out the Boiler Bilges and trying to challenge the Emberheart Challenger here. And the logic is, if I can get rid of the Emberheart Challenger, obviously we can stay alive a little bit longer. If they have a way of protecting it, I can throw the Forest in front of the Emberheart Challenger next turn to mitigate a little bit of damage. Oh, okay. That's fine. I'd much rather a Boros Charm give the Emberheart Challenger indestructible this turn than us die on the following turn. So now the Forest is definitely going to jump in front of the Emberheart Challenger. We're going to play out the other Forest. Oh, no. Okay, it's fine. We're not dead. They're out of cards. We're going to take 6 damage, so they could kill us on the following turn with a good draw. But they could also draw land, and they wouldn't have enough damage. And we drew huge. We drew very, very, very well. Okay. It's not lethal, but it is pretty... that was a pretty good random encounter. And we're attacking all out, because why not? We healed 3 from the Bloom Vine region. So that 3 extra little bit of life is going to be a nice buffer. Summon Fenrir on the field to be able to block the Emberheart Challenger. And next turn, we can still go out with the random encounter 1 more time. And you better believe I'm going to be doing that. Sure. Okay. Actually, you know what? We're not out of the woods here. We need this random encounter to actually be kind of good. But there's no way this random encounter is going to whiff completely, right? Yeah, let's do it. For the win. No! No! Oh my god! It was the worst random encounter I've ever seen in my... Jeez. And there, there's the misery side of the random encounter. The opponent getting a free win on us because we couldn't do what we needed to do. You live by the random encounter, you die by the random encounter as it goes. Ouch. All right, hunting for more interesting games with our random encounters. Hey, this time around, okay, I'm going to keep this one. It's a little bit sketch. We're going to throw away the Vaultborn Tyrant, but we do have our acceleration with the Llanowar Elf into the Badger Mole Cub, and then hopefully this Overlord of the Hauntwood can put everywhere lands onto the field. That is... you know what? Let's just do the Overlord now. I'm not going to be able to put it out for its non-impending cost next turn even. So now we need to find... Okay, that's fine. The opponent... Okay, we find our green source. Or red source, sorry. So our opponent is going to definitely have counter magic. Is it better for me to Badger Mole Cub this turn? I think it is. Let's just get that onto the field. Mountain, load it up. And then we can smoke the Azure Beastbinder. And now we're set up for a potential random encounter. They're not going to be able to repulsive mutation away our random encounter because they don't have a creature on the field. They're not going to be able to play a creature and hold up that mana, probably. Oh. What does that mean? You do it. We're doing it 100% of the time. They might have counter magic. I don't know what this deck is, but I'm here to play a random encounter. It's an Aang Swift Savior. I guess I should have seen that coming, but now we have a two CMC random encounter for the following turn. So they're going to need another Aang or hard counter, which they might have. Whatever. We came here to do this, right? Please don't have a hard counter. Aven Interrupter opponent. It's so rude. It's so rude. Okay. Well, Terror of the Peaks. And attack in with the Badger Mole Cub? No. We want our mana. Our Overlord of the Hauntwood is now online. Our Overlord of the Boiler Bilges, got there, is going to come off next turn. But they do have 4 mana. I don't expect board wipe, so I think I can play to the board pretty confidently. Okay. Okay. It's fine. Because I'm pretty sure I can still play this. I can't play it. So what does this say? This card says I can't play... You can't cast cards from anywhere on the next turn. So it doesn't matter that it was put there beforehand. Okie dokie. Well, let's get in for a spiteful one. Imagine running into an Aang's Avatar's Wrath, Aang's Wrath. And now they do have this thing sitting here, which is going to be pesky. Everything costs 4 because of this Aven Interrupter. That's really obnoxious. So I think maybe I need to attack in with the Overlord or the Boiler Bilges next turn. And just get the Aven Interrupter off the field. We know they have the Aang. Okay. Do they bounce the Boiler? What? Okay. Oh my gosh, they have everything. How can they be such gods? Okay. My goodness. I'm in awe of the greatness that our opponent is. So I could play this random encounter now, but really, what is it going to do? Maybe I hit Terror of the Peaks and it does some cool stuff, but it's not really going to be good enough. But they are shields down, but we are post-combat. I can't do it now. I'm actually a little bit flustered against this deck. We are 14 life. They are chipping away at us, but man, did they ever have just the cards that they needed to deal with what we're doing? Do I care about 2 damage, or should I just put the mountain in front of the Flood Pitch Drowner? I don't think I can afford to do it. We are at 7 mana, which is not great. It's enough, but against this bouncing stuff and taxing from the Aven Interrupter, it's all very obnoxious. Okay. They have a stop set at our untap phase, and they have another Ang. I wonder why they're doing this now. I don't know if I like this play. I think it's fine. Yeah, bounce it. Okay. But now they have 1 mana open. So, what are we going to do? I think we're just going to slam this and hope. Yeah, let's slam this and hope that it goes well. 1, 2, 3, 4. You know what? If I do this first, I can have a Terror of the Peaks on the field so that these creatures that are entering can deal damage to all of these creatures that are on the field. Man, it's not the worst. It's not the worst. Okay, we get there. What a rough game that we had to play through there. Azorius tempo control, pretty powerful. All right, I think I've run my battery down quite a bit. This is going to be my last one. Good game or not. Hey, we get the random encounter, but we have none of the ramp. Okay, got to throw it away. We have some of the ramp. So we're gonna try this. We're gonna try our Badger Mole Cub on 2, but what we need is probably more lands off the top. We'll throw away the Vaultborn Hydra, whatever. And unfortunately, we don't have our turn 1 Llanowar Elf to go with the Badger Mole Cub to complement this, and they are on black, so they probably have interaction for us, but we just have to try. We did find the Stomping Ground, so it's possible that we could at least run stuff out. We're going to at least get up to the 6 mana. Hopefully the Badger Mole Cub survives. Another Badger Mole Cub would be kind of cracked here, right? Okay, so we don't hit that. So I guess what it is we're going to put this out tapped, and then we're going to do this one, I think. We'll grab 2 forests. That's fine. One of them out, and then that puts us up. If our Badger Mole Cub survives for the following turn, it puts us into 6 mana range for our random encounter. So it's possible. Otherwise, we just have to wait 1 extra turn to be able to do it. They are playing Golgari, so I wouldn't put it past them having interaction. And they have a ton of mana. Demon Wall. Okay, kind of a unique deck going on over there. At least they don't have... Whoa, Hollow Merc Siege. Love that. Putting it on Abzan. So whenever you attack, put a +1/+1 counter on attacking creature. Their Badger Mole Cub is getting frisky. Hitting me for 3. And that means that we're doing the thing. Random encounter. We hit a singular Terror of the Peaks. That's not what you want to see. Oh my goodness. Okay. We're in trouble now. So, what's the plan from this part? I guess next turn it's going to be just putting out the Stomping Ground, running out the Terror of the Peaks, and hoping I stay alive until I can put out this other random encounter. And it's possible the second random encounter will be a little bit more potent than the first one. Please don't kill me, opponent. Paw Patch, I'm fine with a Paw Patch. Sure. Whenever you attack, put a +1/+1 counter on attacking creature, it gains menace. So does that mean it triggers for all of the attacking creatures? Or just one of the attack? Well, we're going to find out. They put it on only one creature. Thank goodness. Okay, so their Badger Mole Cub is coming in. Restless Cottage, we can't do anything about it. No, they get rid of our random encounter because they had the Restless Cottage. That's the way this game has been going. It's been just devastating for me. Oh my gosh. Okay, Trumpeting Carnosaur can do some damage, but that's not what I want to be doing. So I think what I need to do is just put out the Terror of the Peaks. And I think I need to survive 1 turn. Then, my voice cracked there. Then, what I need to do is put out the Trumpeting Carnosaur and hope that that Discover 5 is massive. And I need to just do a whole bunch of damage to their face. So, Paw Patch, sure. Our goal here is just not to die. But they do... I think we're dead. We have 6 mana, so this forest can chump block something, but they are attacking him with 2 menace creatures. So it looks like we have to block. Oh my god, it has trample. How much damage is that? That's 11 damage, right? I'm not mistaken. Okay, okay. Take 11 damage. And it's going to be all on this. Vaultborn Tyrant's kind of cool. But this is the cool thing, right? So we're going to play this. It has to hit well. This is my only hope, right? Okay. At least we do 7 damage to the dome. Discover 5. It's a Llanowar Elf. Of course it's a Llanowar Elf, but that's enough damage? Because we get in for 5 in the air. We get in for 5 in the air, and we barely squeak it out. Ristic Tistic. Taken down a very upsetting loss there against this stupid deck. All right, that's it for the random encounters deck. I can't take any more. I ended up playing 26 games with this deck, and it was a mixed bag. There were some fun times. We did have some interesting games where we had a really good start and our big creatures ended up getting the job done. But those weren't really the exciting games that I was searching for. I really wanted to find random encounter. I really wanted to make random encounter work. But man, oh man, this card did not want to agree with me this morning. And I'm sure most of you who have played a random encounters deck are experiencing the similar situations. This card is so random. 4 cards is not a huge thing. Once in a while, you're going to hit a bunch of lands. You're going to hit your ramp stuff, your Badger Mole Cub and your Llanowar Elf, and you're going to be happy with that because that's all this deck can do at times. But at other times, you do hit the fun stuff. You get your Ghaltas down, and it does cool stuff. So if you're looking for a fun deck and you have all of these expensive mythics, then go ahead and play this deck. But I would very much hazard people against playing this one, or warn you to not play this one because it is a bit of a rough one. But hopefully it was a little bit entertaining for you. This was definitely in the vein of being more of a fun video than a competitive video. Of course not. Who's going to be getting competitive with random encounters? That's it for this one. I can't take it anymore. I'm done. Salang e ipona. Goodbye to all of you. Have a great time, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.